I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association, which is the special district association responsible for bringing the area free-to-access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is a community TV station. If there is a news story or event information that you would like to share, you can call us here at the station 970-677-4119. If you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out more about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Friday program, which is aired at noon, 2, and 6 p.m. It's also available on demand online at both our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. This is the program for January 31st, 2020, DCTV's News at Noon. An update on the coronavirus impact to our area as reported in the Durango Herald with file photos. Mercy Regional Medical Center says it has begun screening patients for the coronavirus as a precaution as the deadly disease makes its way from China to the United States. For the past week, patients showing signs of fever and respiratory symptoms who have traveled to China within 14 days have been screened for the virus, said Carrie McCune, Infection Prevention Program Manager. The symptoms patients can experience include a running nose, coughing, headache, sore throat, and fever. Sounds like the flu. The emergency department is also screening anyone who had contact with a known or suspected case of the new coronavirus, McCune said. Quote, "While we are considered low risk, we always want to be prepared for the unexpected," she wrote in an email to the Durango Herald. The World Health Organization, or WHO, declared the coronavirus a public health emergency on Thursday because of its rapid spread. The disease has sickened more than 7,800 people and killed 170, mostly in China, according to the Wall Street Journal report. In the U.S., 5 people have contracted the virus, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC. San Juan Basin Public Health Regional Epidemiologist Sammy Stevens said that even though the state and federal health departments consider the coronavirus risk low in the U.S., it is important for Southwest Colorado to be prepared because the region sees significant tourism and residents often travel out of the country, she said. To help the region prepare, Stevens said she is tracking the latest information about the illness, which has no specific treatment recommendations. Quote, "We are currently monitoring the situation and providing guidance to our medical partners in the area who would be giving care," she said. At Mercy, staff in leadership positions will hold an exercise in February to identify gaps or areas of improvement that need to be addressed so that the hospital can be prepared, McCune said. Mercy is also advising patients with respiratory symptoms who have traveled to China within the last 14 days or patients who have been exposed to suspected or confirmed cases of the coronavirus to go to Mercy's emergency room for an evaluation, McCune said. Patients with the symptoms should wear masks before entering the building until they can be tested. Stay healthy, everyone. Wash your hands, keep your immune system strong, and keep a good, positive, strong attitude. Beetle kill. Words that strike a chord with everyone out west as we cringe from seeing more trees dying around us. But perhaps a bit of good news. The beetle infestation is slowing in southwest Colorado, but as the headline from the Durango Herald states, only for lack of trees. Photos are from the Colorado State and U.S. Forest Services. After more than 2 decades, beetle kill across southwest Colorado is finally showing signs of slowing down. But that's only because most trees at risk have fallen prey to the massive outbreak, a recent survey shows. Quote, "The big spruce tree epidemic is definitely continuing," said Bob Kane, regional entomologist for the U.S. Forest Service. Quote, "But it's slowing down because it's running out of suitable trees." Every year, the Forest Service, in partnership with the Colorado State Forest Service, conducts an aerial survey over most of Colorado's estimated 24.4 million acres of forested lands, tracking new areas where beetle kill has spread. In southwest Colorado, the spruce beetle epidemic started on Wolf Creek Pass in the late 1990s. Though beetles are native to the land, the insect's toll was exacerbated as drought, warmer winters, and dense forests created perfect conditions for rapid spread. Over the past 2 decades, the spruce beetle has torn through more than 884,000 acres, about 25% of the Rio Grande and San Juan National Forest, which combined total about 3.6 million acres, though not all of that land is spruce forest. In 2019, flights over the San Juan Mountains found 16,000 acres of active infestation, and of that amount, about 5,000 acres were newly discovered areas of beetle spread. Some of the most intensely hit areas, Kane said, were near Vallecito Lake and around Silverton. Quote, "A lot of it is still in wilderness area, which is where a lot of spruce is at," he said. Whereas beetle kill in past years saw astonishing advancements over the landscape, the number of acres actively affected has declined for 5 consecutive years. But even so, the survey noted beetles continue to expand their footprint in the remaining spots of unaffected spruce trees. Quote, "Spruce beetles remain the #1 forest pest across the state," said Ryan Cox, a forester with the Colorado State Forest Service. Quote, "There may be less acres, but it's still on the move." Another major issue is the round-headed beetle infestation that's wreaking havoc outside of Dolores, the town. Forest researchers first noted round-headed beetles killing ponderosa pines in an area north of Dolores known as the Glade as early as 2011. Throughout the early 2010s, the acreage affected doubled year over year. Then the beetle's impact shot up. An estimated 11,000 acres were affected in 2017. That number increased to 27,000 acres in 2018, and the 2019 survey determined 22,000 acres have been affected. Quote, "Unfortunately, it's due to a lot of factors. Climate stress from drought," Cox said, "and once we're at these outbreak levels, they tend to just move through their course." The round-headed beetle ranges from Guatemala to the Rockies, so the insect is native to this region. But in New Mexico, for instance, the beetle builds up over a year or two and then experiences a population die-off. Researchers believe that the drought in southwest Colorado is paving the way for these beetles to thrive. For example, 2018 was the warmest year on record, dating back 124 years, and the second driest year dating back to 1895. The U.S. Forest Service and the Colorado State Forest Service are putting together a broad-scale tree thinning project to help save trees where it's possible and try to reduce wildfire danger in the areas around Dolores. Quote, "But as far as catching up with an outbreak, it's really difficult," Cox said. And we'll hear a little bit more about the drought situation later on in the program. And the Journal reported on the 3 arrested in a Cortez stabbing. A South Cortez stabbing last week seriously injured a man and led to 3 arrests, according to Cortez police. Police investigated a violent assault that occurred at a residence in the 400 block of South Chestnut Street around 9 p.m. on January 22nd. A resident reported a woman and 2 or 3 men beat up the victim who had been staying at the home. One man arrested claimed self-defense. Alcohol was reportedly involved, and the residence is known for transient visitors, said Cortez Police Department Lieutenant Andy Brock. The injured man, Robert Salt, sustained serious bodily injury, including to the chest, a stab wound to the abdomen, and a broken nose, according to a physician injury report provided to police. According to the incident report, when police contacted him at Happy Valley Trailer Park, Salt was, quote, "covered in blood all over and was holding a towel to the left side of his abdomen. He said he had been stabbed." Salt was admitted to the intensive care unit at Southwest Memorial Hospital and has since been released, according to the police officials. When asked who did it and where, Salt told police he's not a snitch and that he, quote, "knew nothing." But police overheard that he had been walking from Chestnut Street, which led them to the scene. Blood was splattered throughout the house when officers arrived to investigate, according to the report. Blood was on the floor, walls, furniture, lampshade, and on suspects within the house. A bloody pocket knife reportedly used in the stabbing was found on the floor. It was apparent that some blood had been, quote, "mopped up" in an attempt to hide it from a resident's mother living there, witnesses said. After interviews and an initial investigation, 2 men and a woman were arrested and charged in connection to the incident. Frederick Dishface was arrested on suspicion of first-degree assault and tampering with evidence. Frederick Whiteman was arrested on suspicion of second-degree assault, conspiracy to commit first-degree assault, criminal impersonation, and false reporting. A woman identified only as Paulina in the police report was arrested on suspicion of second-degree assault, conspiracy to commit first-degree assault, and obstruction of a peace officer. She also was arrested on violation of a protection order. All 3 suspects were left in custody of Montezuma County Detention Center. And now let's take a look at the local weather heading into February. Today, sunny with a high near 37 degrees. The north-northwest winds linger around 10 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly clear and a low around 20. And that wind from the north-northeast remains around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Still looking forward to a warmer weekend right now. Maybe time to wash the mud off your truck. Saturday will be sunny with a high near 44 degrees. The northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Then Saturday night, mostly clear and a low around 21 with the north-northeast wind around 5 miles an hour, finally shifting back out of the southeast after midnight. My guess is for Groundhog Day prediction, 3 more weeks of winter is definitely in the forecast. But we'll have to see if Puxatawny Phil sees his shadow or not. Riveting live coverage on some channels, no doubt. But for now, our Sunday is looking sunny with a high near 47 degrees, south winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy and a low around 28. And then winter reminds us that, well, it's still winter. Monday, snow showers are expected mainly after 11 a.m. with a high near 36 degrees, and that chance of precipitation is sitting at a definite 90% right now. Into Monday night, snow showers are likely mainly before 11, mostly cloudy with a low around 14. And the snow may continue into Tuesday morning, but then becoming mostly sunny and cold, 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 with a high near just 25 degrees for Tuesday. Tuesday night, mostly clear and a low around 7. Brr. Wednesday, not much better, mostly sunny with a high near 27 degrees. And next Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 12. So if you need to get things in place outside, like hauling water or hay or washing your truck, Saturday or Sunday is your window before the next snow hits on Monday and the temperatures drop for Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Rabbit Rabbit for the 1st of February tomorrow. And now, back to the news. From the Durango Herald report, photo Jerry McBride. Despite above average snowpack, last check we were around 114% of average in our water basin area. Southwest Colorado remains in a severe drought. U.S. Housemakers, lawmakers from several western states, including Representative Joe Neguse, a Democrat of Boulder, are considering a bill that increases the scope of federal grants to combat water scarcity. Access to water is, quote, quite literally a lifeline, and that depends on access to strong funding for research and solutions, Neguse said in a House of Natural Resources hearing last Tuesday. The bill gives state governments, Native American tribes, and nonprofit organizations the right to declare drought emergencies and access federal relief funds. States can then use the money to improve groundwater access by drilling wells into aquifers. The new legislation also focuses on wildlife conservation as a vital part of restoring water supplies in the West, said Representative Xochitl Torres Small, a Democrat from New Mexico. A holistic approach to preserving and restoring water sources means they are less likely to be contaminated by chemicals from farms or businesses, making water safer for the community and the surrounding wildlife, Small said. Climate change causes drought, and wildlife protections help combat climate change, said Senator Jared Huffman, Democrat from California. Without conserving the water resources, they will be depleted and the water quality will be poor. Small introduced the Western Water Security Act late last year when the West faced severe drought conditions. Water desalination, or removing salt and other minerals from water, is an important way to diversify water supply, especially when wildlife ash contaminates reservoirs, Small said. U.S. Representative Scott Tipton, Republican from Cortez, also supports desalination as a source of clean water. Much of the water that flows to drainage basins in Colorado has a high salt and mineral content. The more that can be done to protect local water quality is important, particularly given the severe drought conditions over the past couple of years, Tipton said in an interview he gave to the Durango Herald. Tipton said he would support federal grants for desalination as well as weather and irrigation monitoring projects if there is a need and if federal resources are available. Quote, "We cannot overstate the importance of water for our state," Tipton said. There is a desalination project on the Dolores River, but the process of injecting salt back into the ground has caused detectable earthquakes in the area in recent years, including a 4.4 magnitude earthquake in Paradox Basin in 2013. Underground space for saline injection is also running low, and the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation would need another method to remove salt and other minerals from the water to keep that project operating. While aquifers are not a big part of the agricultural picture in southwest Colorado, water is an important issue that farmers need to understand from a large-scale perspective in the West. Cortez agricultural expert Bob Bragg told the Herald. The San Juan Shama project, operating in Colorado, augments water flow to New Mexico by diverting water from the San Juan River into the Rio Grande. And, quote, moving water is not easy, Bragg said. Many residents in southwest Colorado rely on groundwater for their drinking water, whether that's provided by a public water system or a private well. Drought can cause groundwater levels to fall low enough that water wells go dry. When this happens, people have to find an alternate source of water. Gus Westerman, the Dolores County Agricultural Extension Agent, said weather patterns are different now than they have been historically, making it tricky for farmers to navigate water usage. But, quote, good planning and financial management are key to a successful business for farmers, Westerman said. It falls on the farmer to have contingency plans. Some farmers in the area already use funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to mitigate risk during drought, Westerman added. As for whether the USDA funding is enough, he said, it depends on who you ask. And from the Journal with photo TJ Holmes, the wild horses of the Spring Creek Basin herd are contently grazing through a thin layer of snowpack on their 22,000-acre management area just northeast of Dove Creek. To better define and support their continued health, the Bureau of Land Management Tres Rios Field Office is seeking public comment on a proposed revision to the 1994 Herd Management Plan. The plan will evaluate the area's soil and water quality, plant and animal numbers, and overall landscape productivity relative to the Colorado Public Health Standards. Quote, the BLM periodically reviews ecological conditions and appropriate management levels for wild horse numbers within herd management areas, stated Tres Rios Field Manager Connie Clemenson. This plan revision keeps our herd management plan aligned with the condition of the vegetation, soil, and water sources, and to ensure a healthy horse herd. Officials will evaluate the appropriate management level of 35 to 65 wild Mustangs, fertility control techniques, herd genetics, future gather techniques, and new water developments. The herd management area in Disappointment Valley is currently at full capacity at about 65 adult wild horses. The next step in the process includes completion of an environmental assessment that will be available for public comment. Based on recent analysis, the Spring Basin herd is healthy and their grazing range has maintained good ecological conditions, said Tres Rios BLM range conservationist Mike Jensen. A proposal within the plan revision is to add 2 more water catchment areas within the designated management area, he said. A specially designed catchment would divert natural precipitation into a tank and then to a trough for the horses. It's estimated the total ground disturbance is 1 acre. The purpose of the additional water sources is to help distribute the horses so they graze throughout their range and spread out the grazing impact. By nature, horses tend to graze closer to water sources and less in areas without reliable water. Quote, the proposed water catchments would help the horses utilize the range more effectively and forage in areas that may be underutilized, Jensen said. Fertility controls on the Spring Creek Basin herd have been effective, he said, and have kept the herd population within the required limits. Limiting reproduction to an ideal level has prevented horse gathers, which can occur if the herd population goes beyond management targets. Current management plans that call for a preferred method of bait trapping if a horse gather is required will be included in the plan revision. The last gather at the Spring Creek Basin herd was in 2011. Quote, by controlling herd growth, we can extend the period between gathers, and that means less horses going to long-term holding facilities, Jensen said. The plan revision will reevaluate the herd size based on land health assessment. Managing for genetic diversity is also a part of the goal for the wild horse herds. Occasionally, a carefully vetted wild horse roundup from another management area is added to the Spring Creek Basin population to pass on its genetic traits. The Spring Creek Basin wild horse herd is one of 177 herd management areas that the BLM oversees under the Federal Wild Free Roaming Horse and Burro Act of 1971. Comments on the revised Spring Creek Basin Herd Management Plan must be received or postmarked by February 19, 2020. The associated documents and scoping letter are available on the BLM e-planning website, which you can go online to at go.usa.gov. And please send written comments to the BLM Tres Rios Field Office, attention Michael Jensen, which is 29211 Colorado Highway 184 in Dolores, Colorado 81323, or you can email him at m50, the number 50, jense@blm.gov. and today's High Canyon Country happenings. Friday night, January 31st, tonight, there is live music by Cousin Curtis. That's at the Fenceline Cidery in Mancos. The Colorado-based artist has toured all over the U.S. and was even featured in publications such as USA Today, Business Insider, and Cosmopolitan for his traveling under the phrase, "Pay gas, not rent." He's also performed at festivals such as Hoxeyville, Mile of Music, and Bohemian Nights. Check out his music online at CutisCutis.com or head over to Mancos for the evening starting at 7 p.m. The food truck Ya Ya serving up delicious gyros or heroes. By the way, they will also be at the Pick and Hoe this year for our 65th annual celebration on the 4th of July. And you can buy their Ya Ya gyros outside of the cidery and enjoy fresh apple hard cider inside. Then February 1st, it's Shadow Trap at the Fenceline Cidery. Saturday, the original melodic indie rock at Fenceline in Mancos runs from 6 to 9 p.m. Shadow Trap, formerly known as Bit Nova, is an original indie rock band in Southwest Colorado, pulling inspirations from multiple musical sources. Highly contagious melodies and rocking beats sets them apart from the masses. Their creative use of soundscapes and rock beats makes their live performance fun and interesting. Sweetwater Gypsy Wood-Fired Pizza will be serving up their delicious offerings on Saturday night outside of the cidery, and yes, I'm working on enticing them to also be a vendor at this year's Pick and Hoe. And if the Senate comes to a vote on the impeachment hearings, we'll finally be done with all of that coverage on TV, and whether the 49ers or the Chiefs win the 54th Super Bowl will be the topic of everyone's discussion. Until next Tuesday, when President Trump will be giving the State of the Union address, and then back to politics in a highly touted presidential year election. Locally, there are 4 spots up for election to the Town of Dove Creek's Board of Directors, which will take place this April. Then on the November ballot, there are 2 of our county council representative positions back up for election. So be sure to register to vote, as well as getting ready to make your number count for the 2020 census that will become available in March. As we as a county need everyone to be counted in order to be represented correctly for state and federal funding, programs, and the like. There is a minimum of response that you are required to address, and next month we'll have a special feature here at DCTV so you know exactly what you have to do or can do to fill out their form. If anyone is interested in getting a job to be a part-time census worker, please attend the meeting next Wednesday, February 5th at 1 p.m. at the Public Service Center in Dove Creek. If you are able to attend this, it will be a great time to find out about applying and what it all entails. For further details, you can contact the Dolores County office here in the courthouse. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings on our Facebook page, which is DCTV News at Noon, where you can also watch the program replay along with the news links and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on the conversation. Again, this is your local community TV station, so if you have something you would like to share, contact us by email. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com, or you can call us at the station 970-677-4119. Thank you for tuning in to News at Noon. Programs are broadcast Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel or our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page. If you like the program there, please like us and follow us on Facebook, and if you would, share it with your friends and family. This has been a production of DCTV for the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching.